Hi everyone, I have been gifted this, sorry for the light, there we go, very pretty Matchstick mouse book. This is the newest book. It's not been out that long, maybe a week or so, by Morgan O'Brien, and I thought I would do a flip through. I haven't actually looked through it yet. I have seen a quick flip through, someone else did, but I thought I would look through it properly with you, and then we would colour a page from the book. Sorry about my lamp glare, it's really sunny. I've had to close my blind and put the lamp on. There we go, there you can see it without the lamp glare, so it's really pretty design on the front, and this will probably be inside somewhere. I like the background here too, a mix of different colours, it's nice. So we have our This Book Belongs To page. We always have this one. I may not move the book across actually, I'll just show you this one so you can just see this is just the copyright page and the title page. You could of course colour this one. I've never coloured this one. And then when we move into the book, the back of every page just has this on, so it means that it is effectively single-sided, so you can use your markers, your oil-based markers and things like that. I've used watercolour in the books, and although the page has gone crinkled and it went through the paper, it didn't matter. I just always use a laminated sheet behind if I'm going to use wet media, just to protect the page behind. But here's our first one with a very pretty dandelion. Now, of course, dandelions are always quite difficult because they're white. So for that, for me, I would do a, actually, should we do this one? We could do this one as our first page. We'll colour this one at the end and I'll show you. I think that might be fun. Okay, oh look at how cute she looks. She's got a little flower skirt on. That's so sweet. And we've got palm tree, things like that. Look at worm. That's lovely. Oh, now this one I'm going to be colouring probably later today because my friend wants to do a buddy colour on this page. So look how chilled she looks, relaxing in her bath. Actually, if you come in a bit closer, you don't really need to see the all the white page around, do you? There we go. Oh, so she's chilling. It's raining. She's got a cup of something, cookies, biscuits, and a lovely floral blanket. That looks like a little crochet one to me. That's really cute. And look at that. So we've got really pretty roses there to colour. Those are lovely, really well drawn. So that'll be great fun. Whether you do them all the same or differently, you know, you could do them red like Valentine's. We've got a label, so she's obviously either just received them as a gift or is giving them as a gift. You could always write something on there, which would be fun. So that's a really lovely one. Oh, and she's just having a little sweep. We've got bits of dust and a lovely pot of flowers. So I think in every picture we're going to see some florals, but I think they're all on a different theme, which is really good. So here we haven't got an obvious flower, but we have here she's making some sort of floral tea, which is great fun. And we've got a see-through teapot. Not sure what that is there. Maybe it's a bag containing whatever these, maybe it's chamomile. I probably do it as chamomile. I don't know what colour chamomile is. Anyway, I have to find out. Now this one is sweet. We've got lots of different types of flowers, but we can identify them quite easily, which someone said actually in a comment, which I didn't know because I hadn't looked through, but we can see this is a lily or an iris. They're always quite similar. With sort of gerbera type daisies and roses. So that's really nice. Not so sure about those, but you could, it's nice to have something that you can just, you know, it might just be grass. I don't know, you can do what you like with that one, so that's fun. Here, these to me look like daffodils, although that isn't a trumpet, is it? So maybe not. But anyway, they're very pretty, and bat friend is there, so that's fun. And they're eating, that bat friend is holding, I wonder what they're eating. I guess you can colour them any way you wish. Good fun. And now she's on her broomstick, her matchstick broom. She's got a letter and a bunch of flowers and dung beetle there. That's really nice. Oh, and she's giving them to someone. Look, what do you think? Do you think that's Mummy? Do you think that's Mummy Mouse? It's very sweet. And look at her face. Ooh, lovely. And this is the one from the front, look. So that's nice. Now I would be tempted to colour them all the same, but they're done differently on the cover and it looks really pretty. So, you know, that's opened my mind a little bit. Oh, I'm in a boat. There's quite a few boat ones in Matchstick Mouse. It's rather fun colouring water. And we have these lotus flowers or lilies. Now we're having a cup of tea in a sort of floral tea room, I'm guessing, or outside, I don't know, but it's really very pretty. That's a fun one. A spider. Oh look, she's sewing, she's doing a sort of embroidery with flowers, and we've got the flowers around. That's really lovely. How cute. So these are like your bluebells, I guess. I mean, you don't have to do them blue. And we've got all the little critters. It's really good fun. And oh, she's picking a bunch of flowers. That's nice. Making a door wreath. That's really pretty. I do like colouring doors. I don't know why. And we have a window box as well. And a nice little bush there. So that's really good fun. That will be a lovely one to colour. And oh, Worm is doing a little painting of the flowers, although it looks a bit abstract. Stag Beetle's doing a better job. Maybe Worm has trouble controlling a paintbrush with the end of his tail. Oh, so we have Owl and we have floral necklace and beaded necklace. And Owl's got a really funky hat, a lovely scarf and sort of jacket on. That's really nice. Oh, lovely tulips. And this looks like paper, as if it's sort of, imagine getting a bunch of tulips and having it on that little cute mouse face. Oh. So we're off for an explore. We've got our roller sleeping bag and rucksack, and we've got some little florals. They look like shamrock to me, but that's okay. I might colour them as flowers just because it's a floral book, but we'll wait and see. Now here, these are, I can't work out what these are. Maybe carnations, I'm thinking. Maybe. So that's rather pretty. Oh, we have some snowdrops and a snow to colour as well. Now little Worm's being held. Oh, it's too cold for Worm. And we have a lovely daisy chain. But of course, you don't have to colour them white. I might have a go. I'm not very well practised in white, so maybe it would be a good idea. I don't know. I'll have a think when I get to that one. Ooh, so Mouse is icing a cake. Look at her little tongue. She's got some on her hat and a tail. She's making a right mess. But she's put these pretty flowers on, so that's nice. And we've got some bunting as well, so that's fun. Ooh, and this looks like cherry blossom to me. It's rather pretty. And we have an apple tree. There's actually no florals on our apple tree, just apples, but that's okay. That's another fun one to do. And oh, look how sweet. What do you think that is? Magnolia? Thinking. Now Owl is peeping out from behind some. I'd probably colour those as sunflowers, you know. Oh, and that looks more like a gerber or a daisy to me. Look at that fluffy bee. It's a very cute picture. So these are paper flowers, I think, which are being made into a garland. So you can just colour them any type, any colour. So I will probably do them sort of tissue papery colours, purples and pinks, maybe something like that. These look like peonies, I think. Oh, very sweet, very nice. And maybe a foxglove or a lupin. Not sure, but very so nicely drawn. And we've got a lot of clouds or bushes in the background. You could do it either way. I'm thinking clouds because of the birds. So that's interesting. Something a bit different to colour. And this one, yeah. No, I'm not sure at all about what that is. But I'm feeling purples with a yellow middle. Don't know why. Oh, and that's the last one. We get a blank page, which can be quite useful for testing out pens, and it's got a blue back on but a greeny coloured turquoisey spine, which is fun. So let's turn to the first page, which is the one I said I was going to have a go at with the dandelion. Now I've got my Castle Art Gold set out to use, so let's start with the grass and work from there really. What should we do? Let's go with a hooker's green for the base parts of the grass, and then move from there. So I'm going to do sort of fade it up the grass so that it's a little bit lighter, whoops, on the tip. Like this, and just work through. And while I'm doing this I can think about the rest. I'll leave a space there. We've got all this sky. Now there's a lot we can do with that. I'm just trying to think about. Now in here I think there is still grass, but we haven't got such a defined colour piece of grass, so I'm going to colour this still in green, but use a different shade. So that's my first thought while I'm colouring. I'm thinking still about the sky. Now because I'm going to be drawing the dandelion in white, I need a colour that it's going to show up against. So that's my first sort of thoughts. So I don't think I could do like a sunset and do red at the top, but I'm not sure it's going to look very summery and spring-like. The colours, you know, sunset colours are a bit more autumnal. I realise that we have sunsets all year round, but that's just how my brain's thinking. So I think I'm definitely going to go with a blue sky. Now I need a slightly lighter tone of green, which will work with the hookers. I'm just having a look at my swatch chart, and I'm going to go with the leaf green deep and finish those off with that. So we've got a nice range of blues in this set. So we've got quite a bit of choice, and I think if I just did the sky in one blue colour, it might be a little bit boring. There's a lot of sky. So I could do it in pastel because that would be a lot quicker. So that's another option open to me. I've got my pastels in my soft pastels here, but keeping it within the circle could be tricky. But our flower goes outside of the circle, so that's another thing I'm thinking about. Do I need to extend my background outside of this circle so that this bit still looks, the white on that still shows up, or do I not need to worry? I think it's something that I might not necessarily be able to make the decision about until I've done a bit more, you know, until I've actually done that white bit, and then I'll be able to see. Unfortunately, once I've done it, it'll be really tricky to do a background. So it's where I get a little bit unstuck because I can't visualise. I can't work out whether it's going to work or not. So I'm just going to try and not do an outside background and just see how it goes. What I want now is another green to do, oh, they're rolling away, the bits of grass in the background, and I'm thinking a darker green would probably be better, but I think I used my darkest. Let's have a look. Yeah. I might use the oxide of chrome actually. Where is it? There we go. It's a bit more of a browny green, but I think it might work. If it looks appalling, I can go over it anyway. So I'm just going to sort of fill in this gap. And the idea is to look like the grass is there, but it's a little bit further behind the pieces that are more defined. So we just put a layer down. I'm not worrying too much about shadows and shading. But we've got to put some in because our mouse is behind something. So I'm just sort of filling in the gaps, and then I'll have a look and see whether I think it works. I think it is working, to be honest. And it looks like, because it's a bit brown, it could be the ground, slightly soily, or it could be grass. I think it would be grass, really. Yeah, I think that's that. Next I'm going to do the green stems of the dandelions while I'm working in my greens and thinking about greens. I think I will do them a little bit more bright, so they look quite different to the grass. So I'm going to start with the Prussian green. That will be my darkest green. I'm just going to give it a sharpen. And I will do that sort of on the outsides, you'll see. So for the leaves, it'll be the sort of base, like that. We'll have a lighter colour in a bit. For these, darker there, and for the stems, try and do it on the outsides. It's a little tricky on that one because it's quite small, but so try and do the outsides as much as possible. This one is a little easier. Now this bit, I've got to sort of guess where it starts and ends, really, because we've got the but we could take it quite far up because we're going to do the white with a pen, so it's not going to matter too much if we go too far up and we have to go over it. There we go. Now under here it's going to be quite dark. It's got this overlap of this bit, and it's a little easier to just put a dark bit on the edges of the stem because it's bigger. I just checking that you can still see. I don't know why I suddenly thought you might have gone out of shot. Now the base is going to be a bit lighter, I think. So I'm just putting a little bit. Now I need a lighter green. I was thinking the permanent green would work. I've just got to find it. There it is. So here it is, the permanent green. And we'll go back to, go back to these and just fill in the gaps, really. And go through. Just been into town buying last minute bits and pieces for college. I'd forgotten that one of my sons uses a planner. He needed a new one, so grabbed him one of those. My other son didn't want one, so I didn't worry. I'm going to want to make that a little bit more shady, shadowy. Ooh, sorry. So I'm going to use the oxide of chrome that we've used already, just to put in some shadow there. There we go. Now let's do Mouse next. I don't normally do her until the end, but I'm going to do the flowers at the end. So let's start with her. I usually do her main part fur in a darker colour to her tummy and face, and then do her tail in sort of pink or peach. So let's have a look. In this set we have a lot of reddy browns or grey browns, but I think I'm going to go for the burnt umber actually for the main part of her fur. Now I try and do it in the direction that the lines are that she's drawn in. Now I colour her differently every time. I've said this before in a video because it keeps it interesting for me. I know some people would want to colour her the same every time, and that's fine. You know, do it how you feel comfortable with. I think, yeah, colouring her consistently through the book does make complete sense. But it's just, I use different brands of pencils, so I can't completely get the colours identical, so I just decide not to worry. Also, sometimes the colour scheme I use, she looks better in grey, and sometimes the colour scheme I use, she looks better in brown. So the browns obviously go really nicely with the greens. So that's helps me with that decision. Now I need a lighter brown. Now light browns are a little bit yellow really, but I'm going to try the terracotta light and see how it comes out on her tummy. It's quite reddish and yellowish at the same time, sort of orangey. Orange. But I think it's okay. It's just nice to have a slightly different colour. I always leave her eye white. Some people use something called glossy accents to make the eye shiny, which I think is quite cute. I don't have those. It's not something that I've really thought that I need, so I haven't worried about it too much. I've just noticed the ears. We need to do her ears. Oh, my phone's ringing, bear with me. Right, I am back. I was just going to do the ears, I think, wasn't I? Yes. Yeah, it was only a quick phone call. My mum just needed me to give her a telephone number and the name of something, company that it wasn't very exciting. I'm just going to do a few strokes on there to make her ears look a little more furry. And now I need a colour for her inside of her ear, her tail, her hands and her nose. I always do those in the same colour. You don't have to, it's just the way I do it. And I'm thinking something peachy or pinky. Let's have a look. I think the pink bloom is rather pretty in this set. It might be a little bit too pale, but we'll have a go and see what it comes out like. Let's just... Now sometimes I do her nose black, but I'm thinking it might look really cute in this sort of pink colour. So that's what I'm going to try. And inside there, look. And then in here. Now I'm thinking about her hat colour while I'm colouring this, because we're going to be doing a blue sky. So we don't want a blue hat, but we want something that's going to work together with the colours, the greens and the blues. So I'm thinking purple may work, but it might be a little bit too... I'm going to grab a darker pink. Let's go for the azalea pink. Here we go. And just do a few areas a little bit darker. I'm thinking pink will be too close to this colour on the ear, but I'm pretty sure purple. I think purple is my colour of choice. I'm just doing a few shadows. And the bottom of the tail I usually do a little bit darker. It would be a little bit more shadowed. It helps make it look a little bit more rounded, which is always fun. Now if you don't have a white pen at this stage, you could always do yellow, because a dandelion flower when it's in bloom is yellow. You could almost sort of just pretend, or leave it black. You know, there are different options. The other option is to leave a white paper, leave this white from the white paper and all this. I'm going to colour all over it and then add in white after, so I'm going to do it a little bit differently. Let's do a hat. We've got a lovely set of purples in this set. I'm going to use the heather purple first, which is the darkest. Unfortunately they don't have the purple lake, which is my favourite castle purple. And I'm going to use it down here and then lighter towards the top of the hat like that, because it would be more shadowed underneath. Now down here it's going to be really dark. We've got this crosshatch. I'm going to put it on fairly dark by just layering it up a bit, but if it's not quite dark enough I can add another colour. See how it goes. Depends how much I layer this up. I'm going to put it on lightly up here and then just work it out really. I want there to be some contrast between how dark it is here and how light it is here. So I'm going to add on more layers. So I hope everyone's well. I received this book, it came yesterday, actually Sunday. It's Monday today. This video won't go out today, but it will be quite soon. I got it through the post, so it was a lovely surprise. On a Sunday you don't expect to get mail. We, in the UK, someone asked me actually, we get we have Royal Mail who deliver most of our letters and a few parcels. Okay, they used to be a government nationalised company, which is why they're called Royal Mail. They're not anymore, they're private. But they work Monday to Saturday. And on a Sunday, we wouldn't normally get many deliveries, but Amazon deliver on a Sunday. I'm just looking for a colour to darken the purple. I think I'm going to actually go for black. So this is the ivory black. It is the only black we have. And I'm only going to put it near the edge where it's against the rest of the hat. So the same here, so more here and then a bit less towards the edge, like that. Okay, now the top of the hat I think is too pale, so I'm not, it's too much white paper showing through for my liking, so I'm going to pick a lighter purple. I think the Purple Lake actually, which strangely in this set is lighter than the Heather Purple, which in the Soft Touch set it's the other way around. So I'm just going to add a bit of this on just to make it slightly more intense colour without making it too dark. So anyway, yes, we get Amazon deliveries on a Sunday, so that's all rather nice. Bonus. I was out yesterday, Sunday, and I came home to this book being on my doormat, which was lovely. Now our sky, we've got a few blues in this set which are quite good for sky. The cerulean blue middle for me is probably the one that I would use most, but I think I'd like a darker and a lighter area of sky, so I'm going to use, whoops, the I'm actually going to use that as my lightest, and then the cerulean blue is a bit darker. That's the primary blue, and actually I can't find the cerulean blue, isn't it? Bear with me, I can't find it. That's really weird. Where are you? Oh, there you are. So there's the cerulean blue and there's the primary blue, so those three. Now I'm never sure whether to make it darker at the bottom or at the top. I don't know. So, oops, I'm just going to start with my darkest, which is my primary blue, and actually I'm going to start at the bottom. And just to start colouring, I want it quite intensely dark here, and I'll start to fade it a little bit in a minute. Now I'm not actually going to colour over the that. I'm going to leave it white, and I'm going to start fading now. So you see, oops, that wasn't a very good idea. Putting less colour here, like that. So down here again, back to quite intense, lots of layers, and then less as we move up. It's a little bit confusing, this page, because this is sloping. So where do we sort of start fading our colour? Do we keep to that slope, or do we do it that way? And I would try and do it that way. So I'm going to take this intense colour here quite a bit higher than on this side, so that it lines up to about here. Yeah. So I have a longer area of this colour. So I'm trying to think where I'm going to fade it a little bit higher up, and then start to fade it there. So it's roughly even. I could do it a bit here too, look. There we go, that's better. And then a bit more intense down here, because this is going to be our only layer of blue down here at the bottom, so I'm just making sure that it's layered up. Now we need to make sure that we have a thick layer of blue on the page, because when we draw on with our white pen, it won't show up if we've got a lot of white. So here, where it's light, thin layer, that wouldn't really show up a white pen very well, but that's fine because we're going to add another colour on top in a minute. Okay, so I think that'll do. It's a fairly straight line-ish, yeah. So that's the primary blue. Now I'm going to switch to the cerulean blue, and I'm going to start where I started to fade the primary blue and start taking it up. Any areas that look a little bit thin, go over and try to keep it fairly layered up for a while. I know we're going over this, that's fine, we'll deal with all that in a minute. So I'm keeping it thick. So it's Monday today. I think some schools are back today, end of the summer holidays. I think quite a few might have an inset day. Now an inset day, I'm going to loosen light here. An inset day is a day where the teachers can do some training or just sort of get up to scratch with what's going on before they sort of get back into the swing of things, I guess. So they're busy. I mean, not that they stop work during the holidays, really, but my boys' college is back today. The first years are in, having their induction. So they just sort of have a day in without on their own. Tomorrow the first years have their first day of lessons, but the second years, which mine are, don't go in until Wednesday. They had the timetables this morning, and unfortunately I have no days off, which one of my boys had a whole day off last year, but they have Monday afternoons off and Friday morning and Thursday morning, I think. No, Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning and Friday morning they have off at home, but they have two quite intense days on Wednesday and Thursday, where they Wednesday they have a 3-hour lesson in the morning and then a 3-hour lesson in the afternoon, and Thursday they have a 3-hour lesson in the morning and 2 1.5-hour lessons in the afternoon. Now they're not doing the same subjects, but one of their subjects they're in the same class. The subject they are doing that's the same, which is maths, further maths. But the rest of them then, although they're not doing the same subjects, they just happen to be running at the same time, which means they'll get the buses in and out at the same time and things like that. It's quite useful for me because I'll know that they're both out. It's a bit easier to remember who's doing what and when. Now, with this one, I'm not actually going to colour over it in blue, although we've got a few gaps. No, I'm not going to colour over it in blue. Now, the rest of our background, it looks rather like the sea, which is quite interesting. I'm going to use the cerulean blue middle to finish all of this, and we want it to be a dark layer right to the top. So we're not going to fade it like we have this. We've got to go right through and make sure we've got a nice dark layer. I'm just going back over all the areas that I can see that need layering up. Yep, I hope that makes sense. So they're not excited about going back really, unfortunately, but they're not anxious either. It's just, you know, they'd rather be at home doing nothing. I think, yeah, I don't blame them. But they do find it interesting, and I know they'll come back with stories and fun accounts of things that they've done, so that'll be good. So I'm sure it'll all fall into place. The only thing is my builders start on the same day that they start, which means I've got to be mega organised on Wednesday morning, get them out the door at 8 o'clock and then get the whole kitchen cleared out, which is going to be exciting. I have to get all the washing up done, and we've had a plan that we will put the dishwasher on every evening and empty it in the morning, so that if the water goes off or anything, it won't be on while the builders are here. It's a bit anyway, we'll do this side and then we'll work it all out. So yeah, we've got that plan, and we're trying to plan where to put all our, got to make a temporary kitchen upstairs, and there's no room. So we've got a room for a table, and we'll put things under the table. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I was saying to my dad yesterday, we visited them, which was nice, that, you know, we'll have our bin in our fireplace. He was like, a bin in your sitting room? I was like, well, yeah. And, you know, we've got to put our rubbish somewhere. Can't, there's nowhere else for it. I suppose I could put it in the hallway, but it's more convenient in the sitting room, really. That's where we'll be producing the rubbish. But anyway, I was going to stand it in my fireplace because it's stone rather than carpet, and put some newspaper under it just in case there's any sort of spillages. And I've got a plastic tablecloth which I'm going to put on the floor to protect the carpet. So and we've planned a few meal ideas which we're going to try out and see how they go. We've got lots of couscous which we can hydrate just with kettle water, and it's really nice. And we've got ideas for different salady things, and so I think we'll be well set. I'm just going to make this a bit more ragged on the edge like that, and then this one, although I said I wasn't going to, I think that there's some gaps in it here and here. Right, next thing we're going to do is the centre of this. I'm going to just erase that actually there. Now the centres are usually quite grey. I'm going to put some grey, oh, I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. Sorry about that. Right, didn't want to hear me sneeze. So I'm going to use the Cool Grey Deep, which is quite a dark grey, for this centre part. I'm going to try and make it darker at the bottom than the top. Now we've got these little seeds in it where our, that'll do, where our, each of these has got like a pod. I'm going to colour it in grey. I could have left them white and then coloured the grey in. I thought it was easier to just colour over them. I think it makes a more even background. And so each of these is going to be a little bit darker than that centre bit. Can see what I'm doing. Okay, let's just put, there we go. Now for our, I'm just grabbing another grey, yeah, very light grey. I'm going to put some light grey lines in here. I'm trying to decide how dark to make this really. It might be darker near the centre. And these as well. Some grey. I'm actually going to go in with a darker grey as well. Here's this one. This is the charcoal grey. I'm just going to sharpen. Pencils rolling everywhere. The charcoal grey. That might seem a bit dark, but we're going to go in with a white pen. Now, if you don't have a white pen, you could just have left it without this grey or with this grey. Like that. Some on this one too. And then in a minute we're going to get our white pen. What have I got in here? Probably got a Posca, yeah. Got a Posca. Now I shook a pen yesterday at my mum's house. It was a paint pen. It was a Spectrum Noir metallic colour changing paint pen. I thought, oh, that looks nice. I shook it up. I took the lid off and it splattered pen all over my hand and the paper. So that was fun. It was really unexpected. So now it's just a matter of drawing on some white lines. And they won't show up that well on here because we've got just grey and white paper. But I think it's quite nice to put some on. You can put a few in there. And then on these, I'm going to put a few in, but they will be the black. I don't want to completely cover the black. I think it helps bring attention to it. I think having the white just adds a little bit of fluffiness. The pen would stop working. There we go. The same with this one. Just a little bit. As I say, if you haven't got a white, you can just leave it. I'm doing it and you can't see it because it's on the outside. And what you could do is do a pastel background around the outside of here in, say, blue or something, and then the bits that overlap would show up. But I'm not. I think it's fine without. It's got the black lines overlapping. I think that's enough. Oops, that one was a bit messy. There we go, nearly there. Quite fun, just splatting around. Now what you could do if you want a final fun touch is use some silver pen. I think we'll do that as well, why not? Into it to make it shine. So these are my Jelly Roll Metallics. I use these a lot, as you wouldn't know if you watch my videos. And this is the silver, which is number 553, and I'm just going to add some lines of silver. Now it may not show up very well, but when you tip it to the light it will. I think it just adds a little extra fun element, but you don't have to, you know, if you don't have your silver pen, it's fine. I think a little bit of shine is always a bit of fun, and for those bits that overlap the edge, it will show up a little more than the white. Go. And let me just tip it to the light so that I can see that if it's shining, that I can see that I included all of them, but I don't know how easy it is for you to see. I think you can see there. There we go. So there is our finished little chappie, little girl actually, with her dandelion clock. So that's just an idea of how you can do it. Some people would layer a lot more white on, but I like to leave it with some black and some grey as well. It's just the way I do it, but you know, it's just an idea. So there we go. So thank you for watching. In the description there will be a link to where you can get the book. Having done a flip through, I know sometimes people want to go and buy it, so you can go and have a little look. And a huge thank you to the lovely lady that sent me this book. It's really appreciated. It's a lovely, lovely book. That's me. But thank you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. It's evening when this goes out in the UK, but some of you will be a bit earlier. Some of you might watch it a bit later. But anyway, thank you for watching and happy colouring. Hi everyone, I have finished this Matchstick mouse book, and I thought it would be fun to show you a little flip through. Sorry, the light is shining on the cover. A little flip through of all my pages. So if you want to, if you've got the book and you want to have a look and see how you might colour them, I thought it might be fun. And I know a lot of you just like having a little look at a completed book. Filled that in. And I don't colour that. Perhaps I should. It's very cute, isn't it? Okay, so let's get started. I'm actually going to come in a lot closer because I think it's nicer to be able to see the pictures up close as we get the opportunity to. I haven't done any backgrounds or any of them around the circle. I know a few people do. It's just not what I do. I just like to keep it simple and do the little picture. So this one I did with Castle Arts Gold. I have a feeling I did it when I did the flip through of the book, but I'm not really sure. But I did it a long time ago. So that was a lot of fun. And there's also some silver pen. It's got tippets you might be able to see in the dandelions. I don't think it's going to pick up, but there's some silver as well. I can see it from here. It's a lot of use, isn't it? Okay, so this one was done with Arteza Expert pencils. I actually used one of Sarah Renee Clark's Colour Cube cards for the colour scheme. So we obviously had greys and yellows and greens. It was a little tricky for me in places. I like having that challenge, which is what I love about the cards. See the tree? There was no brown, so you can see I've tried to mix the yellow and the green a little bit and make the trunk colour, which I think was fine, you know, and I had a lot of fun with that one. If you want to check out the Colour Cube card, just for reference, it was number 29. I've written it on this page. So, and there, I think there's a photo of it on my Facebook page with the card on it, but I didn't bring the cards through today. Now this one I seem to remember was a buddy colour with my friend Michelle, but I haven't written down what pencils I used, but I'm looking at those purples and I am thinking Castle. I am thinking Castle Art Soft Touch, and I'm thinking Purple Lake Deep, I think, but maybe not. But there she is in her delightful bath, and I sort of themed it, so I like to do the wall in a nice warm sort of mud type colour, wooden window, and then we kept sort of pinks and purples and blues, make it all nice and sort of matching, I guess, which I rather like. This one I'm pretty sure I did as a video, but I can't remember. Castle Arts Gold I used for this one. I find the slightly softer pencils are a little easier on these on this paper. It's an Amazon paper, but anything works really. And just wanted to make it look really cold outside with the grey and lovely warm and cosy inside with the warm colours. So that was the idea behind that one really. Now this one was also a colour card. It was number 30, and I used my Cores pencils for this, so you can see it's quite an interesting colour scheme. You've got your greens, which works obviously for the leaves, and I just used it for the background as if it's sitting on, as if they're sort of sitting on grass or something. We've obviously got this sort of gold colour which I used for the tag, but these sorts of browns are not what I would normally choose for mouse. And then we've got a blue. And so I used it for the hat. So it's a really interesting mix of colours, which I would not, normally I would do roses, pink or red, and then I would match her hat in with that. But you know, it's nice to step out of the comfort zone every so often. You can't see it all, there we go, sorry. And do something a little different. Now this one I did with pastel tint pencils. I'm still learning how to use them so they're a little more vibrant, and some of them are very pale and some of them are, you can make more vibrant, you can mix them a little bit with each other or just layer them up, and so that's what I was playing with here, and I'm actually rather pleased with how it's come out. Sometimes I find my earlier pastel tint efforts were a little washed out, but I feel that this just looks like it's supposed to be these colours, and I think it works better, and I think I still got practicing to do, and I will still get better, but I think it was rather fun. Also, I sometimes mix the pastel tints with the gold, the Castle Arts gold, and then you can darken them up a little even more if you wish. This one was done with Arteza Expert. Again, I tried to match in the colours a little bit. So her curtains and the tablecloth match-ish. I think, you know, the curtains match each other. I often do them in blue, so I decided to do them a little bit different. I wanted to make the tea look really nice. I think it's probably supposed to be chamomile, but I wanted to make it look pink and pretty, so that's what I did. And made the teapot see-through because obviously we can see what's in it. That was a challenge, and I didn't use any white pen. I just sort of left white gaps a little bit. And yeah, I made her a little bit different. So she's grey and brown, which is not how I normally colour her. Again, it's quite nice to mix it up and try different things. So that's what I do. This was a buddy colour with Kylie, and this was before I got my colour cube, and she had one. Mine was, I think I had mine, but it was a Christmas present, so I hadn't opened it. So she grabbed one of her colour cube cards, number 84, and we used that for this page. I used my polychromos, having never used a colour cube card before. I actually found all the colours, chose them all, did the 3 for each, and used different ones, and had great fun with that. And so trying to colour Mouse when we had basically crimson, mulberry, magenta, artichoke and meadowlark. So the artichoke was I used for the greens, light and dark. The magenta you can see here, the mulberries, and the crimson, I'm not sure, anyway. And then the meadowlark, a sort of green gold and Naples yellows. So I had to do her in yellows, but I managed to just layer it up and mix a bit of pink in there to darken it a bit. And of course her hat's quite camouflaged with the leaves, but actually I thought that was quite fun. You know, I don't normally do that. I normally make her stand out, but I thought it was quite fun that she was almost a little bit hidden in the middle. And I cheated and used some white pen, but yeah, Kylie didn't mind. Now this one I used my Artex pencils with, which was fun, and we've obviously got our daffodils, so I sort of try to match colour-wise there. See, my match is like blue and yellow. I felt that went well, but when I use the colour cubes, the colours are so different and it really opens my eyes to different combinations. That's fun. I didn't really know what they were eating. I thought they looked a bit like, what are those chocolate sweets? That have got a crispy shell and that sort of shape. I don't eat sweets anymore. I don't know what they're called. Used to love them as a child. I can't remember. Maybe they don't make them anymore. Not Maltesers, because they're not round. They're sort of flat. Crispy shells. Oh gosh, it's going to bug me. I might remember. Anyway, that's what I thought they were. So I coloured them in brown. Or they could have been nuts, because I don't know. I don't know what bats eat. I have no idea. Anyway. This was a bit of a colour cube card disaster, I think. This was coloured in Arteza Premium, and I used colour cube card 34. I haven't got the cards, as I said, but obviously you've got a red and a pink and a blue and a yellow, effectively. And I think, had I done this, if I was doing this again, I would go completely differently. I would use the red and the yellow to make a sunset sky, and I would use the blue for everything else to make it look a bit like it was dark or twilight or something like that, possibly. So I would do it completely differently. But I grabbed the sort of pinky browns and thought I've got to do mouse that colour, and then wanted to do the flowers red, and then I sort of got a bit lost. I just not sure I like it, but you know, that's fine. It's all about experimenting, and I think actually doing something you don't like can be as much help when you're learning as doing something you do like. And again, out of my comfort zone, trying something different, and that's brilliant. Now we have Arteza Premium for this one. I thought this was just the cutest picture. I'm assuming Mouse is giving some flowers to her mum, but I don't know, it might not be at all. But that's how I interpreted the picture. And I had a bit of fun doing a sort of interesting sky, because there's such a small amount of sky in this picture, you can mess around with it. I could have done a bit more with the bushes, but... And behind her, it was a bit tricky. So I thought I'd just do it really pale, and then they come forward, because they're the main part of the picture, aren't they? So I had a lot of fun with that one. So and I left some white. Sometimes I don't like leaving white, but I felt it just worked with her dress, and so I did that. Now this one I used Staedtler Design Journey pencils, and I tried to copy the cover. Now the cover's a lot more vibrant. Staedtler Design Journey aren't the most vibrant pencils in the world, but I had such fun. It was brilliant copying something. For a change, I didn't have to think about what colours to do. I just grabbed my pencils, I looked at the picture, and I just went for it, and I loved it. And I've done it quite a lot since with art pictures. Not sure in this book, but in my springtime book I'm going to do it for every picture. So I've done a few already, and it's so fun. I'm lucky because I've got 2 copies of springtime, which 2 people, lovely people, have sent me. So one of them I can copy pictures in, and one of them I can do my own thing, and it's just brilliant. And one day when I ever get round to finishing, I could do a comparison, maybe. I don't know. We're getting a bit ahead of ourselves here. But I had lots of fun with this one. I really enjoyed it, so it just made me want to do more like that. So there we go. Now this one, I used Staedtler Design Journey pencils again, and some stickers. I think you can just about make them out on the river. So I've got a, and on the plant. The plant I use gold, but the river I've got a stickers called Waterfall. So that was fun for that one. I kept the leaf quite plain there, but I think I didn't want to overwhelm that area because we've got Mouse there to stand out, and Worm. So I love the fact that Worm seems to be sitting on a little cushion. I wasn't sure if it was one, and there's something behind Mouse, and I just wanted them to have little cozy cushions, but I don't know if that's what they are. Anyway. This one I used Erga Soft for. It was fun. I wanted to make it look a little bit jungly. Oh, excuse me, I've got hiccups. I've just had lunch. With a sort of green background, rather than doing sky. I thought was fun, and lots of bright colours really. But again, sticking with the pinks and purples and blues is something that I've been doing a lot. I need to step away from that. I think it's I need to come out of my comfort zone there. But I had a lot of fun with doing this wood and all that sort of thing. I don't know why he's doing that. But anyway, it's good fun. Oh, there's a big noise outside. Hopefully you can't hear it, Simon. This one I use Castle Art Seascape. Sometimes I grab a limited set. I don't want too much colour choice, and I just have fun with it. Gosh, that is a loud noise. I think it's the drain cleaning lorry. It's lovely. So I don't normally do Worm that vibrant. It was probably the only colour I had, but I think it's quite a good idea because he stands out a little bit more, because he's there all cute, curled up, and imagine being asleep there. Aww. And I matched up the flowers, which I may not have needed to. I could have mixed them up a bit, but I had some fun with that one. Okay, and here I grabbed my Castle Arts Monet. So again, grabbing a set and just being a bit limited in colour and going for it. I'd always wanted to really do purple for these bells. I mean, they are blue bells, I think, but some blue bells are quite purpley, not this shade of purple, but I don't know, that's the colour I wanted. I think this pink background isn't quite the right pink to match the purple, but hey, it's done now. She looks so cute. Right, this one was done with Castle Arts Botanical. I rather like the idea of doing a bit of a, I find that orange and reds set off purples really well. So doing this sunset or sunrise like that and then having these against it, I think it worked well. So that was fun. I could have varied my, I thought they all looked like the same flower, which is why I coloured them the same, really. So that was that. So that was a lot of fun. This was done with Stedler Design Journey. These, I think this would have been the super soft set. Gosh, it's a bit of an alliteration, isn't it? And I've done all my flowers the same colour. I think I just think they match better, like those match those and it ties it together. We did a bit of gold, quite basic gold but quite fun, a bit of a brushy matte, so that was good fun, and tried to put a bit of fur on her. And I did her grey because I've got quite a lot of brown going on and I didn't have the super soft set. I've only got 24, so I've got a huge range of browns. So by the time we've used one brown for the door and a different one for the wall, that's it. So I thought I'd do her grey. It also makes a change to do her grey sometimes. She's grey in this one as well. This was done with the Stedler Design Journey pencils too. So that was fun. This is number 25, I think. What I decided to do was to make Beetle look, he's copying the picture exactly, but Worms is just a random modern arty thing, but I used the same colours from here to here because I thought he's, you know, he should be maybe being inspired by this, so that was a bit of fun. And here we have Black Widow Spider pencils, so I have this quite a good range in that set of different colours, so that was good. And I felt like they were playing dress up. I'm not really quite sure what they're doing, but I thought it was good fun. I love the fact that Worm looks like he's got a Mohican. I think it's good, but I just mixed and matched lots of different colours, bright colours, because I thought they're having lots of fun. They're not, I don't think they're trying to dress up in something smart. I think they're messing around because they're laughing. So I thought I'd do something a bit, you know, these don't match. That was the point. This one was done in Chroma Flow. I have a feeling there might be a video for this one, but I'm not entirely sure. So that was fun. Chroma Flow, I've only got, I say only, I've got 24, which means that I've got a limited colour palette again, which helps me. You know, sometimes I don't want lots of colour. But I did her grey because I felt greys matched in better with this colour scheme rather than, because it's quite cold, rather than warming it up with the brown. It's a pigeon through my window, preening on the shelf. This one was done with the Black Widow Cobra set. It's a little bit limited with the sense that there's no blue, apart from the hat, which is more of a aquamarine. I think it might be called that, I'm not sure. So I had to do the sky a different colour, so that was really good because it you know, stretched me. So I did purple for a change and it looks different, which was good. There's not many browns either, so Mouse had to be grey. It's fine. And I did some red dots with Posca in some of the flowers or leaves. I thought it looked a little bit too plain, so I just did some Posca dots. Why not? This one I used my Artex pencils for, and yeah, they were quite new to me then. I was just experimenting with them really and having some fun. So there's nothing too exciting. The sky is really samey, you know, there's nothing going on there really, but you know, I just had fun with that one. Now this one, I'm pretty sure this was a buddy colour. It's just the cutest. This, I don't know if you can see. So Castle Arts Gold, and I did shiny shiny snow, and for the actual falling snow, and for the snowdrops there's some grey streaks on them a little bit just to make them show up, and the snow has got a bit of grey in it as well, or is that slightly green? I can't work it out, but anyway, just to make it a little bit more interesting. So I wanted to make it all really cold, hence why Mouse is cold colours and Scarf is cold and everything, and make it really cold. Now this bit warmer though, isn't it? So Chroma Flow again for this one. So a nice warm sunset / rise, you know. And I kept all the flowers the same because I thought it looked like a daisy chain. So I made them yellow with a tiny bit of pink, but it doesn't really look massively like a daisy. But you know, it was, I had fun with it, so that's good. This one was fun too. I used my coarse pencils for this because they've got nice pink, pale pinks and things like that. So I decided, I don't know why I thought she would have some green on the cake. So she's got green icing everywhere. Maybe I was limited with my colours. Maybe I didn't want to use too many. I'm not sure. But it was a lot of fun doing that one, the cake and the bunting and stuff. There's a lot of background going on there, but that was okay. I had fun with that too. This one I used Castle Arts Gold. Again, the flowers are all the same. They're obviously on the same bush or tree. So, but we did the background, I faded it a little bit into the centre just to make it look a little bit different. And the flowers have got some Posca yellow for the centres and white to just make them look a little bit more interesting and fun, really. So that's that. This one I did just the other day. I used Castle Arts pastel tint for the background and for some of the elements, and the gold for others. So I mixed it up a little bit. I wanted the idea of this sort of just a very pale background, I thought would, and then the apples would sort of really stand out, so that worked for me. The apples have got white dots on, but unfortunately the pen has made them go a bit peachy. The white has bled into the white, but never mind. And there we go. So and I just did Mouse's hat and bag, just sort of matching with the general colour scheme, but they're slightly different colours, so I just did it that way. This one is Chroma Flow pencils again. Lots of layers on these to bring them out. Now I did this a bit wrong, so the sky's fine. I went from dark to mid to light blue, and then put some grey in the clouds, and then whited out the black, and I think that worked quite well, especially if you look from a further away distance than I am. The plant, now just looking at this leaf here, look, it's got a centre bit and then stripes. I thought this was like an iris, and this was like one of the iris flowers petals, but I think now on a reflection that's a leaf, but possibly doesn't matter. I really wanted it to look a little bit more brighter and more exciting, so what I did was I added this bright yellow, which you do get on the irises, but lots of yellow dots and bits of yellow into the other petals as well, just to bring out, might not be able to see it that well, and there's a mixture of pinks and purples in the different petals, which I had fun with that. Didn't pay so much time to the other elements. The hat's very vibrant, isn't it? Almost neon, which was fun. But I just had great fun with those petals, really. Okay, and we have Chroma Flow again. Seems to be quite a regular occurrence in this book. And here is Owl, looking ever so cute. I sort of decided I wanted these flowers to be blue, and I'm not really sure why, but the blue and the yellow, I really like that combination, so that's what I did. And because of that, I just kept Owl to greys. I'm not sure. Oh, I have got a really pale grey in my Chroma Flow. I think that's black, but just applied really gently. So I had fun with that one. Now for this one I used Arteza Premium pencils. Again, there's quite a few layers on the flowers. So there's a darker orange and a lighter one, then a yellow to sort of bring it all together. There's quite a lot going on, and the centres have a bit of yellow and then some brown as well to just brighten them a little bit and give, I was trying to give a bit of texture to these bits, but it didn't really work, but it doesn't matter. So that was fun. And the sky, you can see I just did a little bit of pink. Now pink and orange is not usually what I would do, but you know, perhaps I should have just done blue, I don't know, but it's a bit different, isn't it? This was done with Staedtler Norris. I just wanted to try out my Norris and see. Now you can see how this is very pale. They're almost like a pastel effect because they're such a hard pencil. It was very, very difficult to get much out. There's lots and lots and lots of layers here and it still doesn't look very vibrant. Better on the mouse, but it was fun. And what I have done now is I put my Norris in together with all my other Staedtler pencils, so if I want a slightly lighter version of a particular colour I can grab my Norris, and I think it's going to make me use them more and have more fun with them, so that's good. I used Artex for this one. The flowers are the sort of a couple of shades of purple and some pink on the tips all mixed together, which was good fun, and the centres I did some yellow, but then some yellow and orange dots with Posca on that one and that one. I didn't on the others, so you obviously can't really see the centres. I picked that colour for Mouse's hat because I really like it. I didn't think about whether it would match, but I think it works. And yeah, and I did a few splots in the background of purple Posca to sort of tie in with the flowers really. I don't know how well it worked, but I had fun with that. This one was done with Arteza Expert pencils. I'm not sure why I chose such a dull green for the bushes in the background, but I tried to brighten them up with a bit of green Posca dots, but I'm not really sure it worked, but that was them. The flowers have got some white Posca in dots and lines to try and make them look a little bit more fun as well, and I just sort of matched her hat in really. This is the last one. This was done with Bambino crayons. They can be very, very vibrant. I did layer them up a little bit to get them that bright, and there's a selection of purple, oranges and yellows in each leaf. But I've also used some white pen on here as well to show some shine, and it was a lot of fun. So it actually got me using my Bambinos on a few other pictures too. Now these leaves, my Bambino greens are nearly completely run out. So these leaves are actually blue and yellow. There's no green in here. I had to mix the colours up, and that was rather fun as well. But that is the end of that book. So I had a lot of fun with colouring that one. So thank you to the lovely person that sent me the book. I really appreciate it. So there we go. So I'm now working on finishing another Morgan O'Brien book actually, which I'm rather enjoying. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day and happy colouring.